Passive transport requires no expenditure of energy. In simple diffusion, water molecules and gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide need only move down their concentration gradient to move into or out of cells. Molecules that are larger than oxygen but that are fat-soluble also move into the cell in this manner. In facilitated diffusion, transport proteins are required for adequate amounts of water and polar molecules larger than water to pass through the plasma membrane. They are a hydrophilic passageway through a hydrophobic environment. Glucose and other hydrophilic molecules, such as amino acids, move through the plasma membrane in this way. This form of transport does not require the expenditure of energy because it also has a concentration gradient working in its favor. Passive transport requires no expenditure of energy, but active transport does. In active transport, molecules again move through a transport protein, but now energy must be expended to move them against their concentration gradient. A cell moves solutes against their concentration gradients by using pumps. One of the most important and thoroughly studied of the active transport mechanisms is known as the sodium-potassium pump. It works in the following way. First, 3 sodium ions located within the cell cytoplasm bind with the transport protein. Then, the energy molecule ATP gives up an energetic phosphate group to the transport protein. This binding causes the protein to open its channel to the extracellular fluid. The protein loses its sodium ion binding sites, thus releasing the ions into the fluid. Binding sites are then created for potassium ions. 2 potassium ions move into the protein's potassium ion binding sites, which brings about the release of the phosphate group. This loss returns the protein to its original shape, releasing the potassium ions into the cytoplasm and readying the protein for binding with another set of sodium ions.